What's up, Saints and Eights? Welcome back to another episode of Music and Makeup. This week I'm going to share with you all of my new favorite releases while I do my makeup. So without further ado, let's jump into it. My eyeshadow today, I'm going to be using a combination of these three palettes. I'm thinking about something brown, something gold, something pretty simple. So it's going to be between this Born This Way Warm Ember Nudes palette, this Juvia Place Nubian Earth palette, and this Pat McGrath mini eyeshadow palette, Sublime Smoke. So we will see what I end up coming up with. I'm going to use the Pat McGrath Sublime Smoke palette. This is the mini that I have here. And I'm just going to use this shade called Tahoe right here in my crease. And then to apply, I'm using the Danessa Myricks My Kitco. This is the MY27 brush. So let's get into some of these new releases to what it is I've been listening to lately. Navy Blue dropped a new project, and if you all follow me on IG, you all know I've been really waiting for him to release some new music. He's one of my favorites. And the title of this project is Memoirs of Armour. I love his style of rap. I love his subject matter. He has just such a peaceful and calm vibe. Whenever I finish listening to his music, I always feel a little bit better than when I started. I feel a little encouraged, a little uplifted, and like, you know, everything's gonna be all right. I need to prime my eye. That's why this is not working out the way. I'm like just swiping along and I'm like, this isn't working out the way that I want to. It's because I don't have no concealer on the eye. So discovered his music randomly, like through playlists, and then through to his affiliations with some of the other rappers that I like Earl Sweatshirt and Mike. And his music really spoke to parts of me that were hurt or healing or had healed at that time. And you know, I love music that I can relate to. My first Navy Blues album was Song of Sage, Post Panic. And of course, my favorite song from off of there was Dreams of a Distant Journey. One of my favorite albums by Navy is his last one, which is Ways of Knowing. And it was entirely produced by Budgie. I just absolutely love them together. And I'm a fan of Budgie's production anyway. And I really like him and Navy together. And one of my favorite songs on that album is Phases. And one thing about Budgie, he knows his way around the gospel flip. That's another one that I turn on when I feel like I need like a bit of encouragement or just to be reminded that things are going to be okay and that life is just, you know, moving in a cycle, and you know, just as things go up, they're going to come down. Right, so let's get into my favorite tracks from off of this album. What I'm listening to now, the first one is the intro to the album, which is Take Heed, and it's produced by Budgie, and I just love the bass line. If you listen to this in the car, the bass line is just so sweet. And I love this clip at the end. I really be fucking with Navy Blue music really heavy for that. It's something, you know, a little deeper. And it's always good to have that kind of diversity in your listening taste. I like listening to it all. I want to hear different perspectives all the time. I'm going to put the shadow on now that I have my concealer on. So this next song, this is Low Threshold, and this is produced by a child actor. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very familiar with this production, but I love the piano loop on this. That is my favorite verse on this song. Why does life feel like a hug and death is just a kiss? Don't you drift away from us and fall in that abyss. And that can speak to so much. When you're going through, you end up feeling isolated in whatever it is that you're going through, and you end up kind of drifting away. So this next song, this is Bassist, and it is also produced by a child actor. This is like a really nice groove with that drums, the guitar, and the bass. I like that too. Sometimes leaders walk alone, can't deal with sycophants. And this beat too has those little imperfections that I like with it. It feels like there's little hesitations in it, and then the drums kind of move around a little. I'm going to add a little bit more depth. Now I have my transitional color, and I'm going to use this here. This is called Extreme Mahogany, and I'm just going to put that all over my lid here. This is Running Sand. This is by produced by Chuck Strange. Love the hook on this. When I heard it, I was like, yo, I need to hear this live. Love this reverse effect in the beat too. It really adds to the title of the song is Running Sands. So it feels like it gives the effect of running. I have the darker color on the lid. I'm gonna have to blend out because the crease in my eye is very deceiving. So you see I have too much right here. So we're gonna figure out something, kind of have to blend that a little bit more. So I'm gonna go back in with the transition color, this one right here, and then just blend all of this out. This is Red Roses. It's produced by Nicholas Craven. I like that bar. Life is but a series of adjustments. And if it's anything I have been learning this year is that that's all that life is. It's just constant change, constant adjustment. And it may be a small adjustment such as your route to work, or it could be a big adjustment like changing where you live. But there's always going to be some kind of change going on in your life, and you got to stay flexible and open to it. Once I learned that, life became a lot more easy for me. Got this shadow blended out. I'm pretty happy with what it is. It doesn't feel very brown and mahogany to me, but you know, we're gonna rock with it. I'm gonna kind of give a little glittery quality to my lid. I'm gonna use this color right here from Juvia's Place, the palette. It didn't have a name on it, but that's it. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it, nothing too crazy. This is Say the Word, and it's produced by Gray Matter. I just love this beat. The best way to describe like the feeling, because some beats just give you a feeling. So the best way like to describe this beat, it feels like a sunrise after you've been out like all night and just like watching the sun come up. You came out of the club, wherever you came out of, and it's just daylight is coming up and you just riding out with the sun rising. It's just this is what the vibe is. Right, I hope this doesn't mess this up because honey, I just don't have time. All right. Okay, it gives it a little depth. The whole objective of this song, I hope I'm right, it seems like, you know, just say the words, speak into what it is that you want out of your life. Just say the word. And he talks about, you know, like people thought he was on edge, but it's actually I was perched, you know, to move to my next thing. This is where we've landed with the shadow. I ain't gonna mess with it too much. So next, let's get to the base. I am going to start off by priming my skin using the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. This is in the shade 9.5. And if you all have watched before, the way that I apply mine is by putting some on my palette, you know, loading it onto the brush, kind of letting it warm up, and then applying it onto my face. So that's what we're gonna do. Next on my list of new releases that I am feeling is Monday Night and Grimm Doza. They recently dropped a project called Thank You, Appreciate It. One of my favorite phrases, appreciate you. If you've been following me for any length of time on IG, you all know that I love me some Monday Night. His pen is incredible. The way that I got into his music was I heard a snippet that was posted by Salim and Jazz, shout out to them, and he had this bar was like just like 702, I'll get up on it, and I forgot the rest of it, but he has a really distinct voice. So you all know I'm really big on like how voices play a part of like your sound, and I was just like immediately intrigued, and I went to go find this snippet. I still haven't been able to find that. If somebody could tap me into what song that was. So I went looking for more of his music, and the first thing I jumped into was I'm Mad, Hold On, and that was the album that really got me into Monday. The song Blockout Boys, I just sat straight up. When I heard it, I was like, yo, he's got it. And I said, I hope this talent does not go to waste, because yo, Monday is on here rhyming like the rent is due. And so that album had like a lot of good tracks on it too. There's Blackout Boys, Ramon Sessions. The beat on Ramon Sessions went crazy in the first place. And that's the other thing too. Monday has good beat selection. It's always chef's kiss, and that Ramon Sessions is a really good indicator of that. Another good track off of there is Whispers, and it features Nitty Blanco. That's still on the daily rotation. So yeah, go check I'm Mad, Hold On out if you haven't. My recommendation is start there and then just keep discovering, because he's got a lot of good music. Even though the album just dropped on Sunday, I already have some favorite tracks, and one we're listening to now, this is called See Lately. The thing I like the most about this song is that run that he has with the phrase side of me. This song too is a groove. The beat is fly too. I have my face primed. Now I'm gonna jump in and just conceal here and there. Next song, this is Gold Medal featuring Nicholas F. I like the beat. I'm a beats first, lyrics second, and I just love this. I'm just gonna let this dry so it doesn't move across my face. So now I'm just gonna blend this out using my Sephora Pro Concealer brush. It's number 71. And just go on the outside. It's just to neutralize some of the dark areas, because if not, it's gonna pop up under makeup. This is Bless, and this is another one of my favorites from off of this album. This beat has like such a nice little summertime vibe to it. Now, you know how I said Grey Matter made the beat that sounded like a sunrise. This one feels like a sunset, like on a rooftop in the summertime. Just real good. All types of different shit to test your heart. Now on your mark, get set, go. You gotta set your mark. I know you ain't know no better. Oh man, bless your heart. Alright, so now I've got my concealer on. Now I'm gonna go in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Skin Tint. This is in the shade 14. I don't wanna wear nothing too heavy, so I'm gonna use this, and I'm just gonna put this on my palette and distribute using this buffing brush right here. Since the blurring balm powder did kind of what I needed it to do in the concealer, I'm just going to use about this much. And I like to just spread this around so it gets nice and even. Alright, this is really like my favorite song of this album. This is called Corleone. I had an affinity for this anyway because I like the intro. Godfather is one of my favorite movies. It's the entire trilogy. I like this beat too. I said in previous episodes, I'm becoming a fan of beats that have like a grittier, I hate that word, like a less perfect sound. It has like a little bit of distortion to it, something out of place, something, you know, out of key. And this beat fits all of that. And again, Monday maneuvers around it without it sounding awkward and clunky. That's all I need. For blush, I'm going to use this Juvia's Place blush. I use this in a minute. And this is in Perky Poppy. You know, Juvia's Place is very pigmented, so I'm going to put some on my palette first, load my brush up, and then put it on my face. Put about like this much up here. Okay, so this song, I like this one. It's real, I don't know. I feel away, but yeah, I like this song. This is Stars Align. He has like a real like 80s R&B feel to it. Y'all know I be on that mode all the time. It's got that kind of vibe to it. I don't know if this is a love song or not, but I'm fucking with it. Alright, so this is the brush I'm using. I'm not telling what I told you neither. The same hole since I was 14. Her last nigga was pussy, I don't know his name. Now I'm gonna go in and conceal my under eye with the Fenty Beauty We're Even concealer. This is in shade 370N, and I'm also going to use 400N like in between so it's not so bright. I know you hit your phone, you was roaming. I ain't gonna front, I was alone. I know that's not what I told you. So I have my highlight placed. I'm gonna put my contour up here in a second. Next new release I've been feeling, this is Larry June, Doing It For Me. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm kind of new to Larry June's music. I was really feeling the album he did with Alchemist, Great Escape, and so that made me kind of dive a little deeper. And so I've been enjoying this project. This is something I would totally turn on, do my makeup, cleaning up the house music, getting through your workday music, and it's got a positive element to it, so you feeling a little motivated. The song I'm playing now, Breakfast in Gold Coast, and this song is produced by Jake One. Who's another one of my favorite producers. I've been enjoying his project he had with Freeway earlier this year. I've let my concealer dry. Now it's time to go in and blend all of this out. I'm going to use two brushes, the Sephora Pro Concealer 71 brush, and then also the My Yummy Base flat brush by Danessa Myricks. This is the MY3. And I just use this brush to go around the edge, and then I use the other brush to go in and clean up. Blending on the edge gives it a more diffused look. This is Meet Me in Napa. This is a nice little kind of sort of love song. If you listen to the words, you'll understand why. I'm just gonna drag this up here to my forehead for the concealer. I'm just gonna go back in with the smaller brush and then just kind of pat in that excess on the inside. The song that I'm listening to now, this is Money Bag, and this is produced by Cooking Soul, another one whose production that I love. That highlights all of the things people will do, or ask the question, what will you do for money? How far will you go for the bag? Let me blend this contour in, and I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks MY5 brush. It's the angled brush, and I just trying to get better with making sure my cream contours are blended, because honey, I might not be able to see in the mirror, but they show up on camera. This is a little too bright. I'm just gonna go in here with like a clean brush and just kind of mop up a lot of this and just kind of break up some of these harsh lines too right here. So next up is Latto Sugar Honey Iced Tea, and I just dropped this Friday. To set my under eye, I'm gonna use the McGrath Sublime Under Eye Setting Powder in the shade Deep. I like to use the pressed powder first and then follow up with a loose setting powder. So this is Latto's third studio album, and I love the rollout for this. She announced the album with the ATL style trailer, and she was portraying the role of Nunu, and that got me excited. That's why I say I'm loving these trailers as album announcements and rollouts. I saw Derringer and Rome Streets had one. It's a good way to evoke incitement. So I saw that and was really excited to see what she was coming with. I loved the homage to the South and the homage to Georgia in her promotion for this album and in the theme of the album. But yeah, I've been loving like all the visuals that have been coming from this album. They even had their album release party at Cascade. So it was like everything was very on brand. Her rollouts have always been really good, but this has been my favorite one by far. She also mentioned too that this album has to be listened to in order, and I agree. It'll feel like a movie if you listen to it in that order. And the song I'm listening to now is Brokey. I know y'all done heard this song all over TikTok. I don't know if this is supposed to be like the lead single off of this album, but yeah, it took off. And I'm gonna tell y'all, Latto is not is a rapper I would never want to have no beef with, because honey, she's a good diss rapper. Time you know the girls would get the falling out and they be like, take it to the booth. I'm like, oh Lord, you gotta bring your best with Latto, because if you go low, she taking you down into the earth's crust. I can't be mad at that. I tell people, don't go bothering me. I love this too. See, I'm getting me some more little slow bops on my playlist. This is Ear Candy featuring Coco Jones. I love her voice on the hook. I love her voice in general, but they need to do a video for this. On this album, I've been feeling like more so all of the lover girl type songs on here. Lick Something is my shit too, but I've been gravitating towards all the lover girl type songs on this album. Now that I've set my under eye with the pressed powder, I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty loose setting powder. This is in the shade Sugar Cookie. Take that excess off the puff. Love this song too. This is Look What You Did featuring Mariah the Scientist. I gotta get tapped in with Mariah the Scientist music, because the depth of my knowledge of her music is that spread thin, and that challenge y'all was doing, embarrassing yourselves, or I ain't gonna say embarrassing yourselves, but I mean some of that stuff, I'm telling you, the Lord himself could not have come down out of heaven and made me tell anybody. And that's with the translucent powder. I'm gonna go in these other places with the cinnamon bun, and this is the outro to the song. This is Shout Out to Me. And y'all know I've heard it already said a million times, but this is very Drake-esque. That aside, I like this song because she has come a long way. I remember after the rap game and things did not look like they was picking up for her. And I remember people had jokes and it was like, oh, she should have took, I wish she took the deal now. And you could tell she believed in herself, stayed on the course, knew what she was worth, and did not buckle. So good for her, and that's a testimony to, you know, waiting and not taking the first thing that's thrown at you. Because I think had she taken that, and it's not a shot to Jermaine Dupri, I don't think she would have the success she's having right now. So I think everything was in perfect timing. I'm just gonna brush off any of the excess. This is with the large taper brush, Danessa Myricks, my Kitco, the MY14, and it's the tapered brush. And in a surprise move, Benny the Butcher dropped a new project called Summertime Butch, Ode to the Summer. Summertime Butch features production from Nichols, Harry Fraud, Snake Child, and Kino Beats, and a few others too. Solid project, something probably to hold you over, you know, to the next release. The song that I'm listening to, this is One Verse Butch, and this is produced by Nichols. It's good on this project to see him working with a variety of producers. This is Kitchen Table. It's produced by Harry Fraud. I like them two together. Now to kind of warm my face up, last step before we melt all this makeup in, I'm gonna add a little bit of bronzer, and this is the Juvia Place bronzer in the shade Dark. And I just go in between these two right here and then just go around. I'm going to melt all of my makeup, bring it back into skin with this Fix Plus by MAC. Because I have lash extensions, I'm not going to spray it directly on my face. I'm going to spray it onto this sponge and just gently pat, and it works pretty much the same way. This song is another one off of Summertime Butch. This is Warehouse 3 and it features Rick Hyde, Fuego Bass, and El Camino. I'm gonna put like a little liner up under my eye, and I'm just gonna use this black right here. I'm going to use this shade Extreme Dusk. I'm just gonna go under the eye, and I am using the Miami Applicator Small by Danessa Myricks. That's so much better. I gotta start putting some shadow at the bottom. That gives it a much more polished look. I can't believe I haven't been doing this. Oh, that makes such the difference. Now it's time to get on to the lips. For my lip combo, I got another Fenty Gloss Balm stick here. This is in the shade Hot Chocolate. Now, I don't know what liner I want to use. I also have the Traced Out liner, and this is Cold Blooded. And so I'm thinking, because it's a little darker, I thought about that as a combo. Or I thought about the Major Flex. I think this would be really good because I've got like a really smoky look. So this gonna be it right here. What I'm listening to now, this isn't an album, but Monaleo dropped a remix to her song Don Julio, and it features Rob 49. I'm not really familiar with his music, but I love his verse on this, baby. Monaleo, listen, that young lady really pushes her pen. I love to hear her rap. I love how she just pop her shit. A lot of makeup companies missed an opportunity with her. You can still do it, but with all these pink blushes coming out, like when I think of pink blush, I think of Monaleo. She needs a collab today. Not yesterday, but she needs a collab with somebody pink blush line like today, because she is the girl when I think of pink blush, down to the pink blush on her nose. So let's make that happen. As I was preparing for this episode, I saw that Budgie, who I referenced earlier in this episode in his work with Navy Blue, dropped a new beat tape, and it's called Panty Soaker Zero. And Panty Soakers, if you're not familiar, that's his beat tape series that's got chops that are really centered around romance and love. So that's the Panty Soaker series, and this is Panty Soaker Zero, but there's other versions. I love a good beat tape. Sometimes I do not necessarily feel like listening to any words, and oftentimes beat tapes I feel like are a good way for a producer to like really stretch their creativity. Some beats are not made for voices or to have like vocals of any kind over top of them. Beat tapes give like a chance for them to show their range, because you're not so hung up on like, does this work? Can this be used in a song? I love beat tapes. More of those. I don't know how I feel about these liners. The color is good on them, but it's like when you get to smudging them, I feel like I'm losing color as I do it. This is Major Flex. Y'all see it, it's like a gunmetal gray. I think this is what I was waiting for. This look I think is perfect for that. Ooh, that's too much. Oh yeah. See, this is the look that the Major Flex was made for. I'm gonna clean this up. But it's a yes. Sensational. I love when it all comes together. But y'all know we're not done. We are not done till we take this headband off and hair down. Oh, look who got a fresh retwist. That's why I've been acting different all week. This is the final look. I am super happy with the way everything came out. I'm definitely gonna have to run this back. All the music that I played today can be found on my playlist, which is linked in the description. And if you heard any of these albums that I shared today, let me know what you think in the comments. That's my time, Saints and Eights. Till next time, love you, bye.